My name is Bailey Pittard, and I'm a new student here at Clemson, and we're here in Cooper Library making this video for my vlog, and we have to be very quiet, so that's why I'm mumbling, so hopefully you can hear me, and if not, then I hope I still get a grade. Okay, so for my new student dialogue, I attended Age is Just a Number, and you told me to answer these questions, so I'm going to answer them best I can. So I don't actually believe we achieved the true dialogue that we discussed, like, discussion, dialogue, blah, blah. I feel like we didn't actually achieve a dialogue because, most people didn't really express their opinions or anything. There was like 5 people that kind of dominated the entire session. So, and the other opinions were kind of disregarded as not important because, well, they didn't really say as much as everybody else. So it was like that thing that we talked about where whoever talks the most actually wins. Debate. It was more like a debate, I think. Also, while I did enjoy the other viewpoints, I felt that it was more like whoever could say, I guess whoever like had the most dominant opinion kind of won. Like whoever spoke the loudest or seemed to know most about what they were talking about, they kind of like held the floor the most, I guess you'd say. So I don't really think it was a dialogue per se. Okay, so as I said before, there was only like 5 people that mostly taught the entire time. They were like in the older crowd. Not that the older crowd is bad, but they seem to have more of the worldly knowledge, so they kind of had the floor the most. I guess you would call them the active voices, not the dominating people like I keep saying. But so the active voices in the group dialogue kind of took control of the entire session. And I guess you'd call them the more extroverted types because they used their entire life story to kind of explain the views that they held in each discussion that they talked about. And so every time they would talk, they kind of like had the story for the entire thing, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. But I guess you could say it kind of took up the most time of the dialogue, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm not saying I had a problem with it because I could totally have spoke up if I wanted to, and they weren't like, gonna shoot me or something. But could have said my piece, but it seemed kind of insignificant based on their whole world knowledge that they possessed, and I feel like my small town self didn't really have the knowledge to talk about what they were talking about because I didn't know that those kind of things even existed. So I felt like I was in a room with like 5 Aristotles or Socrates or something because they had more knowledge than I ever knew existed. Then there was your group of people that were only kind of there because they had to be, because it was like a required course type thing. So I feel like you wouldn't consider them reserved voices because they didn't say anything because they didn't really want to be there. But I feel like they wouldn't be reserved voices. They were just kind of placeholders, I guess you'd say, to kind of like fill spaces. I think they were only in that discussion because they didn't want to talk about religion or anything, so they kind of just signed up for it. But then, okay, so let me focus. Okay, reserved voices. Let's see here. I took notes. Okay, so I guess there was a few of these reserved voices, myself included, because I was a reserved voice. And we kind of only really spoke up if we had to. Like, we didn't really want to share our opinions, like I said, because I only spoke up if A, what I had to say was funny, and it would lighten the mood a bit of this serious dialogue setting. So if it lightened the mood, I would say it. Or B, if I felt no one else would say what I was going to say and it seemed to contribute in some area of what was important, then I'd say it. The other reserved voices, they really only spoke up when something was like directly said to them. So I feel like that was the best way to go, I think. If you you know, the old saying, speak when spoken to. It's kind of like what we all did. And, well, not we all, the reserved voice group, like myself. So, okay, my role in this dialogue, besides what I just said. Okay, so in my group dialogue, I don't know about the other ones, but it was broken down into smaller groups. And in that smaller group, I guess that's what I'll talk about my role in, because that's where I actually played a role. And, I feel like in this group, that's where I could speak without, like, being scared of being attacked by the active voices. And, I guess you could say my role in that group was the icebreaker. Like, I served to get everybody talking because of my perkiness and general sarcasm and funniness, because if you can't tell, I'm pretty funny. So I served like as that, and I got everybody kind of sharing their experiences and their feelings and stuff. And then after that was done, I just kind of sat back and let the chips fall where they may. No, but seriously, I did kind of get everybody, like, you know, speaking and sharing and relating, and I think we might have actually kind of had a group dialogue rather than discussion in our little small group. I'm not sure. I think so. But okay, I guess the most important thing I learned in the dialogue was that I'm not in Kansas anymore. Not that I'm from Kansas, I'm actually from Pickens, but I am from a small town. So I guess I kind of learned that here in Clemson, people are not like they are at Tech or in Pickens. They actually have their own beliefs, and they are not afraid to share that. Yep, so I learned that, and I learned how to, I guess even if I know they're wrong, which, let's face it, they're wrong. I'm kidding. I don't really think that way. But, I guess I learned to let people have their own opinions and not like, instantly contradict them or attack them. Not that I attack people, because that's mean. But, I guess I learned from this group dialogue that people are entitled to their own opinions. So, that's what I learned from my new dialogue experience. And thank you, CU100, and bye!